What's good, Coach Colin Castell here with Shot Mechanics Basketball, and today we've got Trae Young shooting secrets.
This video is brought to you by our friends over at Noah Basketball, changing the game one shot at a time. Noah is a revolutionary shooting technology that's changing the way the world thinks about training jump shots, and that's why we've partnered with them. So if you want to use the secret key to shooting that many NBA and elite Division I teams use, then show your coach or parent the Noah system at the link down below. And let's make more shots and win more games.
All right, so Trae Young has absolutely been lighting up the NCAA this season. I got a ton of requests to do his shooting secrets, so I wanted to do them and break them down because he's got some very interesting mechanics that a lot of you can transfer into your own jump shot as well. Now, before we jump into it though, I want you to click the link in the description down below and get a free copy of my Sniper Shooting Challenge. Now, this is a shooting challenge that's gonna be a 100% free access, and it's gonna probably increase your shooting percentage the first time you try it because we've got a lot of great drills in there and you can see where your game's at. So, link in the description down below to check that out. Now, the very first thing we think about with Trae Young on his shot is what we call his low lift. Now, a lot of times players think that they have to jump really high on their jump shot to be a good shooter, right? We see guys like Russell Westbrook who elevate into their jump shot a ton, but really a lot of times that can end up hurting your jump shot a little bit. So if you notice Trae Young, pretty much in any situation that he shoots from, whether it's off of the dribble or off of the catch, he's not jumping very high off of the ground. He might only get 3 to 4 inches of lift, and that's okay. And the reason why that's okay is it can actually transfer a lot of energy and momentum into your shot. So basically what we want to do when we're shooting is as the ball comes up, we want to transfer all of this up energy into our body, into the ball. Now the problem is if you jump too high, the ball's going to pause for a little while and we're going to lose that upward momentum and energy. So if I'm going to jump really high, the ball's going to get here to my set point, but I'm still jumping, so it's going to stop right here and just kind of sit for a little while. At that point, then I have to use all my power and momentum to try to shove it back into the ball. So that's why guys like Trae Young can shoot from really, really far out without having like that super mega, athletic, powerful body, because they can use that momentum from their body into their jump shot, right? It's another reason why a guy like Steph Curry can shoot from so far out, because he doesn't jump very high either. So one thing you can try is if you're struggling with your jump shot, think about not jumping as high and try to jump a little bit lower. That way we might kind of get better timing on the basketball, get more power and more fluidity into it. All right, so the next thing Trae Young does on his jump shot that works really well for him is he has a low set point, meaning that instead of having the ball way up here by his forehead or like Kobe Bryant way over his head, his set point where the ball starts from going up to out is lower, kind of more down in here by kind of his forehead or even kind of his eye area. Now, a lot of coaches will tell you that you can't have a low set point because you'll never be able to get your shot off, right? They say that it's gonna get stripped, it's gonna get blocked, all that sort of good stuff. But if the rest of your mechanics are optimized, it really doesn't matter. And this is one of the biggest problems I see with especially a lot of young players is they feel like they have to get that perfect looking shot like the NBA players, so they pull it up here and then it ruins a lot of the lower body mechanics because of it. So a great way to kind of develop your shot is to do it kind of like Trae did and not worry about your set point needing to be too high, because as long as the rest of your lower body is optimized, you can still get your shot off on pretty much anybody. He's not overly tall, he's not like overly explosive athletic as far as like getting up and dunking on people, but he can still get a shot off over pretty much anybody. And we're seeing it in the NCAA this year while he's putting up some of these monster numbers and be able to shoot from anywhere on the court. So think about, you want to find the perfect set point for you. If you're a younger player, normally the younger you are, the lower your set point's gonna be, but then you're gonna find your sweet spot just like Trae Young has. And there's some other guys that have lower set points that are still really, really successful as well. A guy like Damian Lillard in the NBA, his set point's definitely lower where he's got kind of his finger on his eyebrow right here, and he can still get his shot off over pretty much anybody too. So don't worry about the height of your set point, worry about optimizing it just like Trae. All right, so the next thing to think about on Trae's jump shot is the zigzag, meaning that his chest gets loaded, which is loading up his hips as well as he's getting ready to shoot the ball. Meaning a lot of players when they shoot, they get their chest up to the rim just like this. And what that does is it breaks the power chain of their hips and they lose a lot of power, fluidity, and momentum. And a lot of times that'll decrease your range by about 2 or 3 or maybe even 5 to 10 feet depending on how old you are. So a guy like Trae Young, if we watch him shoot, you notice that as he loads into his jump shot, his chest is going to point about 3 feet in front of him on the ground. And when he does that, that's loading up this power chain. So now all 3 of his joints, his ankle, knees, and his hips, can all actually work together to be more powerful than each one individually. Because as he's getting ready to shoot, as he's extending up, you can see all 3 of these joints are locking out at the same time. So that power is coming through his body, keeping it perfectly smooth into the basketball shot. And that's why he can shoot from so far out, because if he was breaking this power chain of his hips, he would have a really hard time getting the power there. He'd have to change his mechanics and it would turn into a throw, right? So this is one of the main keys when it comes to power, keeping your jump shot smooth, is if you can get that zigzag with your chest down towards the ground right here, you're gonna be a lot better off than you were before. You're gonna have a lot more power. All right, so the next thing that I love about Trae Young's jumper is his set point timing, meaning the timing that the ball reaches his set point and starts releasing towards the basket. Now, one problem that a lot of players make is as they're getting ready to shoot, their hips go down and the ball goes up, meaning that they're segmented. So as the ball goes up, their hips are dropping down, and because of that, the ball's gonna rest at their set point for too long. They're gonna lose some power and momentum. But if you watch a guy like Trae Young, the ball hits his set point, or up by his forehead, right as all three of his joints are locking out. So if we freeze frame him, most of the time, the ball's right here at his set point, while his toes are just getting ready to leave the ground, his ankles are locked, his knees are locked, and his hips are locked. Now the reason why this is important is this accordion extension of his legs and his lower body perfectly times with his release to go through his body, snap into the basketball. Again, this timing is really important for that power, that range. So a great way to test yourself on this, have a friend or a parent or somebody videotape you shooting and pause the ball when it reaches your set point, whether it's here or here, no matter where it's at, have them pause it and see where your hips, your knees, and your ankles are at. If you're pausing your shot and it's right here and everything's still loaded, probably not optimized. If your body's straight, just like this, and your toes are getting ready to leave the ground, that's a perfect set point timing. You're probably gonna have a smooth shot. All right, so the next thing I love about Trae's shot is his hip alignment. Now, no matter what direction he's going, to his right or to his left, he's always working on get his right hip or his shooting hip aligned with the basket. Now, what that basically means is his feet are gonna be turned a little bit, but how he gets this hip alignment is gonna change situation to situation. So if he's pulling up going to his left, it's really easy because he can already have his hip on the rim right here, so we can snap it off. The idea is we want our hip, knee, shoulder, and elbow perfectly aligned with each other as they come out. Now, where it gets a little bit more tricky is moving to the right, and this is something that Trae is really, really good at. You notice that he pulls up a lot of times going to his right. He'll size up a defender and then raise into a jump shot. Now, it's a lot harder to get your hip aligned at the start of the jump shot right there. But what you'll watch what he does is as he comes over, as he's releasing the basketball, he rotates his hips midair and lets his leg come through in a little bit of a leg drift. And by doing that, that's unlocking the top shoulder tension and can allow a shot to stay smooth with extra range. So think about if you're a right-handed player, anytime you're driving to the right, all you gotta do is just twist your hips a little bit in the air and land a little bit staggered, and you're gonna be able to get more power and probably hit more shots, right? If you're going left, if you're a right-handed shooter, you don't have to worry about it because your hips are already in perfect alignment with the rim going that direction. So for lefties, it's gonna be the exact same thing, but opposite. If you're a lefty going to your left, same thing, you probably wanna let that hip drift through. That way you get your shot off nice and clean with a lot of extra power. All right, so next we've got his feet sweep, meaning that most of the time when he shoots, he doesn't jump and land in the exact same position. This is what a lot of high-level elite shooters do because it actually relaxes their shoulders and gives more optimal arc. And like our guys over at Noah always talk about, arc is one of the most important things when it comes to hitting shots. So if we can optimize it, you're automatically gonna increase your shooting percentage right away. So with Trae, what he does is as he loads up, right, he's got his chest forward like we talked about earlier, but then as he jumps, he pendulums his shoulders up and back just slightly and lets his feet come forward. Now, a great way to notice if you're getting a good feet sweep on your jump shot is if your first step after your shot is a relaxed step backwards. That's a really good sign that you're letting your shoulders relax a little bit and that we're pulling our arc up. Now, a better arc is gonna be more touch, better velocity when the ball's coming down. So what you really wanna think about with this is, testing and trying and seeing how far of a feet sweep you want. If you're going out too far and your first step is like a big stumble backwards, that's a bad sign. So we want to try to find that happy medium for you. It might be a little feet sweep, it might be a little bit bigger, but the whole idea is we want to find the perfect feet sweep for you, and most of the times that can raise your arc and have you hitting more shots right away. All right, so this video helped you out. I highly recommend you click the top link in the description down below and get a free copy of my sniper shooting challenge. This shooting challenge is going to change the way you think about your training, and we're going to see how deadly your jumper can actually get. So free workout down below, click that link and get started today. Also, huge shout out to our guys over at Noah for sponsoring the video. They're awesome. They're changing the way the world's thinking about shooting. So in the second link down below, you're going to want to subscribe to their channel because we're going to put out some fire content over there as well. And if you're new to Shot Mechanics, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, hit the comments in the comment section down below, and let me know what sort of video you want to see next. This channel for the people, by the people, and I leave pretty much everything out for requests. So leave a comment down below, then hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Again, I'm Coach Colin Castell with Shot Mechanics Basketball. Thanks for watching, and until next time, splash on.